Sorry it takes so long, Father, but Saturday night we got over 300 bodies out there. Oh, here we are. Green, Robin. He was booked and processed an hour ago.
What is it this time, Al?
Assault and battery. With a clarinet on top of some customer's head.
Ouch.
He was playing piano in some joint over on 8th Avenue. Got in a fight.
What's the bail?
$50. I bet this will cost him his entertainer's license. It says here the last time he was in court, he was released in the custody of Father Fitzgibbon. Hey, you fellas were supposed to keep him in line. What happened?
You're a cop, Al, not a judge. Paid my money, now where's my man?
Sure, Father. Harry. One body coming out.
One body coming out.
Father.
Yep.
Let me ask you something.
Sure, Al.
How come you and Father Fitzgibbon keep going to bat for this Green? I mean, seeing that he's a
Negro?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Should it make a difference?
Just asking, Father.
I'm sure I forgot something. Something I'll remember as soon as I get on the plane.
We'll ship it to you.
No, it's something I forgot. I can't think what it is.
You're just nervous, that's all.
35,000 feet in the air, being that close to heaven, you've got to be nervous.
Here's your briefcase. It was on the dresser.
Thank you, Mrs. Featherston.
We've less than an hour, Chuck.
Tom's right. There's bound to be a tie-up in the crosstown traffic.
You're sure you won't need your top coat and your scarf?
It's only a 3-day seminar in Boston, Mrs. Featherston, not the Antarctic. Father Johnson will help you out on Sunday. If there's anything else you need, you know...
All I need is for you to get out of here before I get nervous frustration.
All right, Father. But don't forget, Robin Green has to report tomorrow and every Thursday under court order.
If you need any help, Father, just give me a call. Robin's an old friend of mine.
Now, don't either of you tell me about Robin Green. He was my auto boy while you were still struggling your way through the seminary. And you were eating goldfish up at Harvard.
Yale, Father. They're warming up the engines, Chuck.
Oh, okay. My phone number's on the desk.
Oh, Scoot.
Goodbye, Father. Goodbye, Mrs. Featherston.
You're sure you don't want your overcoat and scarf?
Oh, Robin, what has happened to you? I remember your graduation. Class valedictorian. Oh, your good mother was so proud of you.
A lot of water's gone under the bridge since then, Father.
A lot of mistakes have gone under the bridge, too, Robin.
Excuse me.
Young man, are you listening to me?
Oh, sure, Father. Why shouldn't I listen to you? You're trying to help me.
I had a feeling you were tuning me out, I believe is the expression they use these days.
No, Father, I'm not tuning you out. Look, believe me, it won't happen again. It was a stupid thing to do, I know. This character was drunk, and he hollered, "Hey, Kingfish, where's Sapphire?" I just lost my temper and belted him, that's all.
Well, you must learn to control that temper.
Yeah, sure, Father. If I was to belt everybody that made a crack like that at me, I wouldn't have time for anything else.
Well, sometimes we have to close our ears.
Sure, close our ears and our eyes. We're really good at that, Father, you know. Real good. I'm sick of being good at it.
So you go around working off your bitterness by belting people. Robin, you can't go around changing the world with your fists. You must have patience.
Father, I've had all the... Sorry, Father. Yes, I'll be patient.
Now, what are your plans? Besides reporting here every Thursday.
Oh, I don't know. I can't work anywhere in New York until I get my license back. Of course, there are a few joints.
Oh, we've had enough of those joints. No more of that.
Father, I'm a musician. What else am I gonna do?
Now, I have a few names here of people who might help you find work.
Well, thank you. Yes, Father. Thank you, Father, sir.
Now, you stop that. You'll see them?
Yes, I'll see them.
Good. Who knows? You might find something that will take your fancy. Well, you were a fine student. One of the best we ever had, my boy. Can you read my writing?
Piper Tools. My ex-wife works there.
Robin, are you still bitter? Oh, she's a fine girl.
Fine girl. Does a fine girl walk out on her husband the first time things go against him? No offense, Father. I know you're trying to help me.
Oh, I don't take offense that easily. Now, you see the R.J. Thompson department store. The personnel man there is a friend of mine.
Oh, sure, Father. We can always use another box boy.
Now, Robin, you know well enough that that's not the kind of job we had in mind.
Well, they're not gonna make me vice president of the company, you know.
Well, you got to work hard and get experience to be vice president.
To be a vice president first, I gotta get into the building.
Hello, Father. I just talked to Father O'Malley. Oh, he's fine. Oh, he remembered the thing he forgot. There's a bad fuse in the fuse box. I guess he didn't get around to putting a new one in.
Yes, I know. Mrs. Featherston! Mrs. Featherston!
Yes, Father? Don't you want lunch?
I haven't the time. If anyone wants me, I have to go out. I'll be over at the police station.
The police station? Whatever for?
They're having a picnic.
I'm sorry to have dragged you both down here, but I didn't want to get into it over the phone.
Well, what's up, Fred?
Well, you both know Frank Bennett, don't you?
Yeah, he owns a jewelry store.
Over on West End Avenue. Been there for years.
Well, last night he was viciously beaten.
No.
How is he?
Now, he'll live, if that's what you mean, but he's badly shaken up.
Oh, what were they after? Money? Jewels?
No, nothing was taken.
Then why was he attacked? Beaten?
No, we don't know, Father. But there's one thing we're pretty sure of. Robin Green was one of the boys who did it.
I don't believe it.
I'm sorry, Father. Frank Bennett tentatively identified him.
Can we talk to the boy?
We don't have him, Tom. But I was hoping, well, you might give us a lead.
Well, his mother, his wife. He used to work in a place on 57th Street.
Well, that was 2 years ago.
They've been out of touch for a long time. Too long, I'm afraid. Robin was one of the greatest baseball prospects I've ever seen.
I know, I saw him play. Well, I guess I better put out an APB on him.
How about the other boys?
No, Frank says he never saw them before in his life.
Miss Sergeant, could I have a cup of water? I feel a bit...
Certainly, certainly. I know how you must feel. You and Father O'Malley sure have gone to bat for that boy.
Thank you.
Fred, couldn't you stall the bloodhounds for a while? I think it'd be better if Robin turned himself in.
I'd like to help you out, Tom, but...
You say the identification was tentative. Mr. Bennett was injured. Perhaps he made a mistake.
Have him here this afternoon.
Fred, give us more time. This is a big city. He could be working anywhere.
Or hiding anywhere. Okay. But you have him here by tomorrow morning.
He'll be here.
We'll hold off till then.
Thank you, Sergeant. You were a lifesaver in there, my boy. It was your confidence that turned the tide. Now what's your line of attack?
Line of attack?
Yes, you know. Where do we start? Where do you think Robin might be?
I wish I knew.
I had an idea in there. You might know where he is.
Father, I was just stalling for time. Now, if Robin's innocent and they try to pick him up, he might put up a fight, make things worse for himself.
What if he's guilty?
Father, you don't think that a boy like Robin would beat a man for no reason, do you?
I had a talk with Robin yesterday. I'm sorry to say that in his present mood, I think he could.
And all in all, I think it's best he turn himself in.
I agree. Well, come on, let's go.
Where?
I thought you had an idea.
Well, I thought you had one. All right, Father. Suppose we start with Robin's mother, Mrs. Green.
That's a good idea. Fine woman. Sings in our choir, too. An alto, I think.
Father, we haven't got much time. I'll tell you what. Well, you talk with the mother, I'll talk with the wife.
Now you're thinking, my boy. Well, I'd better call Mrs. Featherston and tell her I'll be a little late. That we're
what?
playing Sherlock Holmes.
I'm afraid it's all beyond me. Robin and I just don't speak the same language anymore. But I can't believe he'd beat up anyone for no reason. Robin may be many things, Father, but he was never vicious.
Now, Mrs. Green, can you think of any place at all he might have gone?
No. Have you tried Harry Grafton?
Harry Grafton?
Robin's agent. I've never met the man, but Robin swears by him. Matter of fact, I've never met any of Robin's friends. To tell you the truth, Father, Robin's ashamed of me.
Oh, Mrs. Green.
Oh, Father, I know all the symptoms. I should. Why, I felt the same way about my mother. Father, I hated my parents for being poor. All the hand-me-down clothes and the toys and dolls from the second-hand store. I swore my children would never go through that. So I worked hard. We both did, while my husband was alive. Father, we cater some of the biggest parties and weddings in the city.
You do a grand job, Mrs. Green.
Father, you know what Robin calls me?
I'm sure that underneath he respects all you've done.
No, Father. The very things I accomplished are the things that he hates most. They're bourgeois. I'm bourgeois.
Bourgeois?
Middle class. We don't have the dignity of being poor, nor the glamour of being rich.
All boys go through stages like this.
He's no boy, Father. Robin's 25 years old. You knew he was married?
Yes, I did. Fine girl.
Oh, she's a lovely girl. I had hoped the responsibility would provide an incentive.
It didn't.
No. No. Robin kept right on playing in those dives while his wife pounded the typewriter to pay the bills.
Then you think his piano playing is a waste of time?
I don't know. I sing in the choir, but I don't pretend to be an authority on music. But there comes a time when a man must put his dreams away and face facts, assume responsibility.
His wife felt this way, too.
We never discussed it. I guess we're all to blame in our way. Maybe if I had encouraged his music instead of trying to get him to work here with me.
He worked here?
Off and on. Then he decided that cooking and serving parties was degrading. Father, I have all kinds of people working for me. Why, my very best bartender teaches school in the daytime. But my son, he found it degrading. And now he's supposed to have beaten up poor Mr. Bennett. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, Father, forgive me. I guess I'm a little confused. He was such a wonderful boy, Father. A fine with a wonderful future. Father, things like this hurt a mother's heart.
If it's any consolation to you, it hurts a father's heart, too.
Oh, he had big dreams, that one. Big dreams. He was going to be the greatest. Another Belafonte, Sinatra, Louis Armstrong. Big. So big, no one could touch him or hurt him.
I know. He used to tell me about that.
Mr. Colwell, when it comes to dreams, I can dream as big as the next person. But dreams don't pay the rent. I love that boy, and I love to dream, too. You know, when you're young, the world seems just made for you.
Well, I wanted to be the greatest surgeon in the world. Greater than Ben Casey, even.
Sure, I know. But you wake up. Even in the best dreams, dreamers have to wake up. I did.
But Robin, he wouldn't let go, huh?
Had to be first class or nothing. There was no middle ground. No room for compromise. Oh, I begged him. Get a job during the day and play at night. He said I didn't understand him. My trouble was exactly the reverse. I understood Robin too well. It was a one-way road. Me giving, Robin taking. No, I don't mean that. He could be so tender, sweet. What's the use?
No, thanks.
Who knows why marriage doesn't work? Not me. Maybe I failed him with some other woman.
But you don't really believe that.
I should have said other women. You know, I don't think one woman could really make Robin happy. What he needs is, oh, I don't know, kind of a cross between a mother and a bubbling, worshiping teenager. But I wasn't it, that's for sure. I was just a ball and chain around his neck.
Did he tell you that?
Oh, not in those words. But Robin's a boy who cherishes his freedom. Freedom to Robin, well, freedom meaning no responsibility. And I cramped his style. With Robin, there's no in-between. You're either for him or against him, friend or foe. Can't criticize him and love him at the same time. After a while, I was afraid to open my mouth.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, bring up all these painful memories.
Oh, now, they're not all painful. Some were quite beautiful. How many times I've thought of the talks we had and the things we did.
You loved him very much.
Loved. I wish it were that simple. You will let me know what happens, won't you, Mr. Colwell?
Of course. Phyllis, there isn't an outside chance he might come back here, is there?
No, not really. Robin has too much pride for that. He'd never want me to see him when he was down or needed help.
You have no idea where he might be?
Not a one. Except maybe one of those places. Maybe he's in one of them. I don't know. Mr. Colwell, is Mr. Bennett sure it was Robin?
He's pretty sure.
I just don't understand it. He and Robin got along real well. Robin bought my ring from him. Now, why would Robin want to hurt him? Why would he hurt Mr. Bennett, of all people?
That's what I'd like to find out. Mr. Bennett, the thing is, if you were unconscious, how can you be so sure it was Robin?
Mr. Colwell, how do you think I got unconscious? By myself? I tell you, it was Robin.
Now, at first you told the police that you weren't positive.
Well, I was dizzy. Now I'm positive.
And the other boys?
I never saw them before in my life.
Who hit you?
Robin. Now, please, I got a headache. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
What a way to repay you.
What do you mean?
Ask him.
It's nothing.
Nothing, my eye. Why don't you tell him what you did for the boy?
I gave him a little break on his wedding ring. Big deal.
He still owes $36.
Then you were very fond of Robin.
Yes, yes.
Why?
Who knows? Maybe because it was hard for him. His was the first Negro family to move in.
First, but not the last.
Have you any idea why he did it?
He still holds a grudge.
What grudge?
Oh, what difference does it make? It's ancient history.
No, please, I'm interested. Tell me.
We didn't go to his wedding.
He invited us, but I was sick. But I don't think he ever believed me. He got it into his head that it was because I didn't want to go to his wedding.
Do you know he feels that way? Did he ever say it?
Mr. Colwell, when you know young people like Robin the way I do, you don't need diagrams. He's super sensitive.
And you think that's the reason for the beating?
What else could it be, Mr. Colwell? What else could it be?
Send in Father Fitzgibbon.
Hello, Father.
Ah, Mr. Grafton.
Sit down.
Thank you. You remember I spoke to you on the telephone about a young man named Robin Green?
Yes, yes. Well, he hasn't been around. Maybe it's just as well. Because no matter how you slice it, 10% of nothing is still nothing.
I'm not sure that I quite understand your meaning.
Agents find jobs for their clients, and in return for that service, they receive a commission of 10%.
Isn't that a little high?
Well, the point is, Father, if I had 100 clients like Robin, I'd starve.
But didn't you say it was your task to find a job for the boy?
I can't sell him.
Sell?
Get him a job.
Why not?
He hasn't got it.
Got what?
The magic, the little difference that makes the big difference.
You mean he isn't talented?
Robin has just enough talent to make himself miserable.
But not enough to make a living?
In a nutshell, he's just a coffee and cake boy.
Well, have you told the boy this?
Have you ever tried to tell anything to Robin? Would he listen?
True. He can be a little stubborn.
Oh, I get lucky once in a while and find something for him to do. But since the cops picked up his card, he hasn't been around.
Well, if you should drop by, or you hear of him at all, will you let me know?
Why, of course. You know, I really like that boy.
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Grafton.
I'm just sorry I can't be of more help.
You meant just now that if you were to find me a job, say in television, that you'd take 10% of my salary?
Why, Father, are you interested in that sort of thing?
No, I don't think I could afford it.
6 hours gone, and we're right back where we started from.
There's the list Phyllis Green gave you.
Father, those places are scattered from here to Kingdom Come. It'll take us weeks to cover them all.
The irony of it is, we started out to discover where Robin is, and wound up discovering who he is.
Well, I better get started with this list.
Now, wait a minute. I'll come with you.
Father, you have your work here.
Well, Father Johnson from St. Timothy's is coming over. Come on, let's go.
Father, some of these places are in pretty rough neighborhoods.
Well, what of it?
Well,
You don't think I can handle myself?
Oh, no, it's not that, Father. It's,
Yes?
your reputation.
Well, let me worry about my reputation. We can cut the time in two with me taking half the list.
This is Mr. Grafton. I told you I'd call if I heard anything.
Oh, yes, Mr. Grafton. It's the agent, I think. Yes, yes.
Well, for what it's worth, I just got word that Robin is down in the village at one of those phony beatnik coffee houses.
Oh, which one?
Well, I don't know. But Robin's in the village someplace. It's not much, but I thought you'd want to know.
Oh, yes, of course. And thanks for calling.
You're welcome. Goodbye, Father.
Tom, you're familiar with Greenwich Village, aren't you?
In my sophisticated period, when I was a freshman in college. Why, is Robin there? Well, let's go! Father, I'll take all the places to the east, and you take all the ones to the west, and we'll meet back here in a couple of hours.
What time have you got? Let's synchronize our watches, as they say.
9 o'clock. Father, I'd feel much better if we covered the places together.
Nonsense. Take twice as long. Well, we better get started. Good luck.
Good luck, Father. Father, that way?
Isn't it exciting, Father? They say even Truman Capote comes here when he's in town.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, I'm just wild about his stuff, aren't you?
I wouldn't have missed this place for the world. It's the real New York.
Are you gathering material or something for a book, Father?
Don't look now, but I think I just saw Jack Kerouac.
You're kidding me.
Would I kid about a thing like that?
Excuse us, Father.
Excuse me.
Hello, Mrs. Featherston. How are you?
Oh, fine, Father. Considering
Considering what?
Considering all the commotion.
What commotion? Where's Father Fitzgibbon?
Well, he's somewhere down in Greenwich Village with Tom Caldwell. Father Johnston is hearing confessions.
Excuse me, I didn't quite catch that. It must be a bad connection. Did you say village?
Greenwich Village, Father. They're trying to find young Robin Green before the police do.
Is Robin in trouble?
Oh, Father, he's in real bad trouble. They say he nearly beat a man to death. Poor Father Fitzgibbon is nearly out of his mind with worry. Things are all confusion around here. Are you having a good time?
Lovely, Mrs. Featherston. Just lovely.
Do you think existentialism is dead as a world force?
Pardon me?
I mean, nobody denies the contribution of people like Sartre, but where are the new people to carry on?
I'm sorry, my boy. I don't even know the old ones.
There you are, Father. Any luck?
No. And you?
Father, I think we better call it quits. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning.
Have we covered all the spots, Tom? All the joints?
Oh, nearly all.
Nearly.
Well, there is one place, Father, but it's a little far out.
How far out? Queens, Long Island?
Well, no, Father, I mean, it's weird. The other places are tame by comparison. It's an after-hours joint.
Well, I'd hate to give up now, knowing we hadn't exhausted all the possibilities.
All right, Father, you're the boss. Well, here we go, Father.
Hey, man, I thought you was Fuzz. You know, the cops. Come on in. You've been raided twice this month already. Come right this way. I usually don't let strangers in, but seeing that you're a priest and everything, I better make an exception.
You see him, Tom?
I'm not sure, Father. I'll be back in a minute.
In your opinion, is Van Gogh a great artist or an amateur talent?
You don't even know what you're talking about.
As far as I'm concerned, the only real American poet is Hart Crane.
Hi.
Hi.
We've been looking all over town for you.
Found me.
Father Fitzgibbon's over there translating Ovid into Sanskrit. Why don't you come on over?
All right.
You mean to say you haven't read Hart Crane? Why, I've read at least 19 of his poems. Most of them I can recite by heart. Would you like to hear some of them?
Can I see your driver's license?
What's that?
Isn't it a little late for you, Dad?
Shove off, huh?
Oh, we better blow this place. The tourists are taking over. Hey, Reverend, when are you going to pass the hat?
Come on, split, man.
Stop that, will you? Father, where's Robin? He was right in the thick of it for a second, and then he...
We better get out of here.
But we must find Robin.
Father, he probably ducked out. I think it would be best if we followed.
Hey, let's cut out. This way.
Come on, Father.
Going someplace?
Would you mind turning that light out, please?
Now, see here. This is Mr. Colwell of the West Side Community Theater. And I'm Father Fitzgibbon, St. Dominic.
Sure. And who's this, Mary Magdalene?
I'll not take that from you. Do you know Captain Donovan? Lieutenant Harris?
No, you see, I report right to J. Edgar Hoover.
All right, what's up here?
This character claims he's a priest.
Okay, Father. Let's see your ID.
Identification, Father.
Get the rest of them out of here.
No. Okay, folks, break it up.
Well, what do you want?
Me? I don't want nothing.
May we go?
Sure. Sorry, Father. But could I ask, what are you doing down here?
Well, that's my business. And when was the last time you were at Mass?
Oh, well, it's,
See that you're there next Sunday.
Yes, Father.
Maybe if you went more often, you'd know a priest when you see one. Come on, Tom.
Did you get them all?
What's wrong, Father?
Father O'Malley comes home tomorrow. Wait till he hears about this. I'll never live it down.
Yes, I will, Doctor. Yes, thank you. Goodbye. Well, the x-rays reveal no fracture, but they want to keep Robin under observation for a couple of days. It seems he got a pretty nasty crack.
I'm sorry, my boy. I didn't do a better job with Robin.
Well, I'm sorry I left you holding the bag.
Will you two stop apologizing to each other and answer me one question?
Sure, what?
Have the police got to him yet?
Yes.
What's his story?
I don't know. I'd like to drop over there and see him. That is, if you don't mind, Father.
Oh, no, not at all, my boy, no. It's your case. I was merely pinch hitting.
Well, could you cue me in?
Cue you in?
I mean, fill me in on what's gone on before I go over there. What did you find out from Mrs. Green?
Hi.
Hi.
I thought you might like something to read.
Thanks.
How you feeling?
All right. How'd you find out about me?
Oh, Robin, it's no secret.
Oh, I guess not.
Do you want me to go?
You just got here.
Have you spoken to your mother? She's very worried.
Are you about to lecture me?
I'm sorry.
What are you so nervous about anyway?
Emma?
You always were nervous.
Always around you, you mean? You've never seen me with other people. Actually, I'm quite relaxed.
So I make you nervous, huh?
Oh, let's change the subject, huh?
Say, how come you never got married again? I mean, a girl with your looks?
You sound like you're disappointed.
I just thought that since I was the one that made your life so miserable for you, you'd probably be married again by now.
Oh, you know I never could marry again. You're just looking for a fight, aren't you?
Who's fighting? I'm flat on my back.
Can't we have a nice, quiet conversation without tearing each other
What'd you
apart?
come here for anyway?
I told you, I thought...
Well, I mean the real reason. Did you come here to gloat over me? Is that it?
No.
I'm no good. I'm a big mouth and a wise guy, and this proves it, doesn't it?
Robin, please.
What do you expect me to do, get out on my knees? Tell you how sorry I am I made such a mess of my life? Beg you to take me back? Is that it? You know me better than that.
Robin, no.
Oh, I made a mess of my life, so what? What about you, Miss America? What about all that talk about modeling?
The demand for Negro models is limited.
That's defeatist talk. That's what I ran away from.
And when are you going to stop running?
When I get where I'm going.
Bye, Robin.
Hey, don't forget your books.
Father, I just don't know what to do. He's up there in that hospital flat on his back, and yet he's hurting more people than he ever did when he was on his feet.
Mrs. Green, I think you're going to have to talk to Robin. Tell him who he is and why he's who he is.
Father, couldn't you do this for me, or Father O'Malley?
No, Mrs. Green, I think this is something you're going to have to do yourself. Maybe by wanting things better for Robin, you've just made things worse for him. Gave him an excuse not to face the truth.
You're right, Father. I should have done this a long time ago. But how can you love someone and yet hurt them at the same time?
Mrs. Green, if you find the answer to that one, let me know. I'm seeing Mr. Bennett today. I could sure use it.
Oh, come off it, Ma. What difference does it make what I say?
Meaning?
Do I have to draw you a picture? Who do you think they're going to believe, me or Bennett?
So you ran.
Ran. That word is beginning to tear my head off. Of course I ran. Do you think I wanted to be picked up by the cops and worked over?
Now who's going to work you over? Sergeant Wilson?
Oh, that Sergeant Wilson is just like all the rest of them. You pin a badge on him and he's got to push somebody around. Why do you think he joined the police department anyway? He's a college graduate. Just wants to be a big shot and push everybody around.
Fred Wilson would never push anyone around. Anyone who didn't deserve it.
Come on, Ma. They only made him a sergeant because he does what he's told. He played up to the right people, you know. He knuckles under, plays the game. You wait, you'll see. Old Bennett will get up on that stand and point his finger, and little old Robin will be booked in that old iron coffee house for a long engagement.
You think the world has treated you pretty badly, don't you?
How would you know how the world's treated me? How do you know how I feel?
Do you think you're the only one who's had it rough? Why, lots of people have lifted themselves...
Here we go. You're going to give me the story of your life, huh? How you started out as waiting tables, and how you worked your way up until you were the biggest caterer in New York. The biggest colored caterer. Some distinction. Or better yet, you're going to give me that story about Ralph Bunch? Boy, if I hear that one again, I'll be sick.
Nobody understands you, do they? You're just a poor, sensitive artist, lost amongst a bunch of pale Philistines who don't know what art is. And to top it off, you're a Negro. So that makes you doubly persecuted. Negro artist. Well, let me tell you something, boy, if you got guts enough to listen.
Now, look, Ma.
Now, you're going to listen. I should have told you long time ago. I kidded myself, and I let you kid yourself. The truth is, Robin, you aren't good enough.
Ma, you can't talk to me like that.
Oh, yes, I can. That is one of the few privileges a mother has. Look, Robin, you couldn't make the grade if you were white, pink, or jasmine. So don't hide behind your color. Your problem isn't your color. Your problem is you.
All of a sudden, you think you got all the answers, huh?
I had them all the time. But I kept them to myself too long, maybe. Robin, me, your wife, your friends, all kinds of people have handled you with kid gloves all your life, afraid to open our mouths, because if we said something that you disagreed with, you'd just shout us down. And when that failed, you'd run away. You ran away from your marriage. You ran away from the police. And now you're running away from the truth about your music.
What truth?
That you really aren't a good musician.
Oh, yeah? Well, you just asked Grafton.
I did. And he said the very same thing.
Well, then he lied. He's got something against me. You and him, you don't know what you're talking about. Look, when I was in the Army, those troops went wild over me. Man, they made me king.
Those poor boys were so starved for entertainment, they would have listened to anything.
It's a lie.
Look, honey. Why, it isn't the end of the world. There's so many things you can do. You could come back with me.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mother. Thanks for nothing.
Robin, stop running. Let me in. I want to help. So many people want to help. Please, don't just turn your back on those who are against you. Reach out your hand to those who want to help.
I know it's silly, Father, but I've always had a tremendous fear of things electric.
Oh, nonsense. Now, you see where it goes?
Yes, Father.
I want you to be familiar with these things, in case something like this comes up when Father O'Malley and I are unavailable.
Yes, Father.
Now, will you be so good as to turn on the switch?
Yes, Father. The lights are still out. It doesn't work.
Try opening your eyes, Mrs. Featherston.
Father, I can't perjure myself, even for you.
So, Mr. Bennett, nobody's asking you to perjure yourself. All I'm asking you is, are you sure, really sure, that the boy you saw was Robin?
For the 100th time, yes.
Well, now, you say it happened so fast. Are you certain that there's not the slightest possibility?
No.
How was the lighting?
Like it always is.
little on the dark side, you'd say.
We don't own stock in the light company, Father.
Now, if it was dark and you didn't have much time, how could you be sure?
What's your point, Father?
What would you say if I told you that Robin was with me that night?
You're playing games, Father.
Checking in for his first parole meeting.
What time?
8:30. About the time you say he was here knocking you unconscious.
What are you trying to do, Father?
So it's your word against mine.
Well, it's possible I could. I mean, I was hurt. Maybe in the dark and all. I don't know.
You told the police you were positive.
Well, not exactly positive. Almost positive.
Then you could be mistaken.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
A probability.
All right. It was dark.
Mr. Bennett, just what do you have against Robin Green?
His was the first Negro family to move in. From then on, the neighborhood and my business was never the same.
The nerve of him asking us to his wedding.
I should have moved out of this neighborhood years ago.
Why didn't you?
Well, look, I was born in this neighborhood. Why should I move?
Oh, why should they?
Well, look around you. My business isn't exactly thriving, is it?
Oh, Mr. Bennett, don't try to make Robin Green the scapegoat just because you happen to be a poor businessman. A lot of people have done very well in this neighborhood. Your next-door neighbor, for instance, Mr. Rosen.
Nothing bothers him.
Have you ever tried meeting your new neighbors halfway?
Yes, I'm friendly.
Don't you think they know how you feel?
Well, okay, maybe I can't hide my feelings.
Well, don't hide them. Change them.
That's easier said than done.
Who said anything about it being easy?
Robin Green is here, Father.
Ah, they've released him. Send him in, send him in.
Hello, Father.
Ah, Robin, am I glad to see you. Tell me, is everything okay now?
Everything is A-okay. Sergeant Wilson called. He said Mr. Bennett positively identified that it wasn't me.
Good.
Well, I just stopped by to, Well, Father, you remember that list you gave me, you know, for a job?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, I lost it. I mean, well, I was thinking about Piper Tools.
But I remember you had some strong feeling about trying for a job there.
Oh, I still have, but not for the same reasons. You see, I used my wife's working there before as an excuse because I guess I didn't really want to work. But now, well, if I do get the job, I only wonder how much work I'll be getting done. You know, it's the funniest feeling in the world, Father.
What?
Dating someone you're already married to.
Let me know how you make out. Tell me, did they find out who it was who assaulted Mr. Bennett?
Oh, yeah, it was one of those uptown gangs, the Ramblers. You know, the trouble with this neighborhood is there's too many... Oh, I'm sorry, Father. And thanks for everything.
Father, about that fuse that blew out, I called the electrician and he said that it needs new wiring.
Oh, he's just trying to drum up business. I fixed it myself hours ago. Put in a new fuse and everything.
But, Father...
And everything is A-okay. Oh, glory be. Candles. Get some candles. Quick.